Stampers, that's Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make another Halloween card. You might remember the card that we made yesterday. Let me show you that really quick. If you want to see this video, that's linked right below this video. And we did a lot of sponging for this one, but I'm just going to do one of the panels with you today on this card. But this is yet another fun fold card. So it opens up like this, and then it opens up again. Isn't it sweet? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me give you all the measurements of the pieces to the card. The basic black, which is the base, this is cut at 5.5 by 6 1/4, and then you're going to score it at 2 inches, and then that's going to make your base. It's like that. Then I'm using the pumpkin pie, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 8, and then you're going to score it at 4. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of basic black. And these are cut at 3 by 3.5. You need 2. And then 2 pieces of Whisper White, which is cut at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then another piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And that's going to go inside of here. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and first sponge. I went ahead already and did the front of the card, so we're just going to go ahead and quickly sponge the inside just to show you what I did in case you missed yesterday's video. Let me grab some scrap. Okay, so we're just going to use 2 colors of ink. We're going to use the Tangerine Tango Classic ink and then the Daffodil Delight. Okay, so I'm punched out a piece of Whisper White with the 1 1/4 circle punch, and I put some repositionable tape on that. Now, if you don't have any, you can just use our snail and just put a little tiny bit, and then you might want to take our embossing buddy, looks like this, and you're just going to pounce on that to make it not so sticky. Okay? You just want it tacky because you don't want to rip the cardstock when you layering it onto your piece of cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the moon on the left-hand side for the inside of the card. So I'm just going to position it right there. And then I'm just going to start with my Daffodil Delight and sponge the whole piece. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add our Tangerine Tango. Get my sponge. And you're going to start sponging off of the cardstock. So I have a piece of grid paper here. So I'm just going to start on the edge and work my way into the layer. Okay, I think we're done with the ink with the colors. Okay, so let's peel off the moon. Okay, so you have the front like this and then the inside like that. All right, so now let's grab our stamp set. We're going to use 2 stamp sets, and I used the Spooky Fun, the Witch for the front with the bat. And I think the spider web and the spider too we're going to use. And then also this is available in a bundle and you can save 10%. It comes with the Spooky Fun stamp set and then the Halloween Scenes Edgelets. And you can save 10%. And then the other stamp set we're using is called Halloween Scares. I used the house for the front, and then we're going to use the tree for the inside. I'm going to use the black Memento ink. You want to do your stamping last because when you're sponging, if you stamp your image and then you sponge over top of that, you have a chance of smearing that. So you want to, make sure you stamp. If you stamp before you sponge, make sure you have enough time to let that dry. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and stamp our tree. And then I'm going to stamp, let me see, what do I want to stamp? I'm going to stamp Happy Halloween on the inside part of the, let me see here, I want to stamp it maybe right here. Okay, and then we're just going to stamp a bunch of bats all over. Cute. All right, now let's go ahead and layer this onto the basic black piece. That right here. Okay, so you'll notice on this card here, I used the spider web and then I stamped a little tiny spider at the bottom, which is adorable, but I'm going to do something different with this one today. Okay, so for this base, along this side of this edge, we're going to stamp this little brick image, and this is from the Ghoulish Grunge, brand new in the holiday catalog. Love the images in the stamp set. We don't have the black embossing powder anymore, but we have the clear embossing. Now this is a big jar that I bought years ago, and I just keep refilling it with the clear embossing. They don't no longer sell them in a big jar like that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use the Versamark ink pad. And I'm going to use my embossing buddy first before we stamp. Just run that across your cardstock to prevent static. And then I'm going to ink my stamp up and stamp it a couple times along this edge. Okay, you can't really see it too well, maybe the little shine of it, but let me add the clear embossing powder now. So now you can see it. It's really fun. Okay, now let's grab our heat tool. So for heat embossing, this is the heat tool, and this is from Stampin' Up, and it gets really, really hot. So when you're heat embossing, just be careful you don't burn your fingers. Isn't that cute? Just a very subtle look on that embossed image right there. Okay, so let me fold this again. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and put our pumpkin pie piece into the card, and it's actually going to open up backwards like this. So we're going to put adhesive on this side. Okay, isn't it cute? So then this is going to go on the front like this, and then this is going to go on the second part. So when you open it, so what I found is that if you layer this piece first, you go ahead and do that. So layer this piece first on the inside where you want it, and then the front piece will be a little bit easier to line up. So you're just going to put that there. And then this panel is going to fold over, and then you're going to put adhesive along this side of this edge right here in the back. Remember, you don't want to cover the whole back because you don't want to adhere it all the way down. So you're just going to position that right over top of that layer underneath and then adhere that down. Cute. Okay, so now the inside. You got a piece of Whisper White. Let me grab the scrap piece again. Okay, so this time we're going to stamp a bunch of little spider webs with the little spider. And once again, we're going to use the Memento ink. I'm just going to stamp a spider web up in the top left and the bottom right. And then stamp a couple spiders. And then for the inside, we're going to stamp, have some spooky fun. So let me go ahead and stamp that first, actually. Okay, then we're just going to stamp our spider webs. Okay, then we're going to stamp off a couple spiders all over the inside. Have one hanging off of each of the spider webs. Actually, I'll just have it hanging off of the spooky here. And then one off of the top. Cute. Alright, so I think that is all the stamping. So we can go ahead and put all this stuff away. Okay, let's bring our card back in. Just going to go ahead and adhere this to the inside of the card. So then your card looks like that. Isn't it cute? Love it. All right, so then one more thing that I did do, I added some Dazzling Diamonds to the Moon. and then also to the spider web. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm just going to actually do the spider web because with me using the fine tip glue pen, I don't want to smear it. So I'm just going to show you what I did. I'm just going to add some glue on the spider web edges, which this is really, really good for that. It's really fine. Okay, we'll get the dazzling diamonds. I don't think I'm going to be able to shut the card with the glue wet, so I'm just going to show you. I took the glue pen and I just kind of scribbled it over the moon, and then I sprinkled it on with the dazzling diamonds. So cute. And then here's the other one that used the spider web on the edge. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.